Hey guys, this is John, and I'm playing the hourly SuperBlitz Arena on lichess.org. Hello, happy Monday to everyone. Switching it up and playing Blitz instead of Bullet today. I am going to berserk every game. This is a 3-minute tournament, and I really am feeling it today. So I want to berserk and see how it goes. Um, Obviously, a little bit different dynamic, berserking in a Blitz game versus a Bullet game, but I'll have a minute and a half versus my opponent's 3 minutes, assuming they don't berserk. Of course, they can berserk as well if they want. I recently learned that just because one person berserks doesn't mean the other one can't berserk. Okay, so we're berserking first game against Heiser. Let's play knight f6. Minute and a half is kind of a weird amount of time. It's like a middling time control, I would say. It's like, I mean, coming from a lot of 1-minute games, this seems like a lot of time, but it's really not. I mean, you can't really think for that long on any particular move. So we'll see how this turns out. Bishop d2 is usually played now. They can play knight ge2 as well and just give me the pawn. Knight takes d5. So my blitz rating is 2145, not bad. I haven't played a whole ton of blitz games, though. I think I played one blitz tournament, that's it. My record against Heiser down here, that's all due to Bullet, I believe. I don't think we've played in any other time control. So e6, if he takes, he would lose g2. I play bishop takes g2, go after that pawn. I might play a Bullet tournament today as well, maybe make it a 2 for today. This was I'm playing this at 2 o'clock p.m. Central Time, and the tournaments only run every 2 hours. So despite the name, they're not really hourly tournaments. They're like bi-hourly tournaments. Okay, let's play queen b6. So he was sort of x-raying my queen on a5. I didn't want to take because he could take and then he'd be hitting my queen there. So we drop it back. We still keep the threat on the d-pawn. If they play e4, there's a common tactical idea in this Benko position. It's knight takes e4. This is a known tactical shot. In fact, I think we're still in some theory. It's been a while since I played this line, but knight takes knight, I have e takes d5, and I'll win the piece back because he's forked. He seems like he's a little uncertain. He's proceeding cautiously. Now we're basically even on time. Let's pre-move that just in case he does capture. I think there's a good chance he will. After he captures, maybe queen e2, threatening discoveries with his knight. I think I can probably just play bishop e7 in that case and get ready to castle. He's going to have to start speeding up soon. Yeah, those of you who've watched my Blitz play on ICC will know that I consider 3-minute to be a much trickier time control than 5-minute. It really is. It tests the limits. It's right between Blitz and Bullet, basically. And you have to adjust your play accordingly. If you think for any stretch of time in this type of time control, you're sometimes dead meat. Okay, bishop c3, so they're hitting g7. I think I want to play, I'm going to go queen over here and attack g2. And I want to play knight c6. I was just leery of queen to d5 if I had played it with the queen on b6. I want my queen over on the king side helping out to defend. So I'm hitting this pawn. If they move that pawn, I might have e3, opening that diagonal. I don't know if I would do that quite yet, though. Well, actually, I probably would. But more so, I'm just hoping to develop. Yeah, he's letting his time tick down way too low. Really just can't do that. You're going to get killed on the clock if you do. Like, he's basically got to play for checkmate now, which is not going to happen. So, let's go knight d4. I'm hitting his queen. If he takes my knight, I have bishop takes d5. Yeah, now he's got to drop his bishop back. I think we can safely take this pawn. Probably he should castle now. If castles, I can just play bishop back to c6. I could actually just take that rook as well. Okay, so first game went well. Already several games are in the books. And court tennis. Okay, Daniel. Players I don't recognize because I don't usually play these Blitz tournaments. I think I've only played one other one. This is a 45-minute tournament, by the way, so that's the length of time it will take, a little bit longer than usual. Someone asked me what Fins means, and I replied, it's a Jimmy Buffett song. I was just listening to it at the time that I made this account, and hence I've decided to stick with it. You know how it is. Like once, ooh, the wing gambit. Okay. But once you make an account with one username, you kind of start getting known by that username. You feel obliged to stick with it. So my opponent's playing the so-called wing gambit b4 on move 2, and this line I'm playing right here with d5, I think is the best possible line against the wing gambit. Okay, f3, he's gambiting. I'll just play e6 just to block any bishop takes f7 tricks. We'll go bishop e7. I'm up a pawn. Seems to me like he's played this type of position before, so we'll see what kind of tricks he's able to rustle up. He's got two nice bishops, especially the dark square bishop. That is a cause for concern. But let's just keep developing. I'm attacking b4 and d4 with this move. Actually, he berserked as well, didn't he? He has a minute left only. Okay, let's go rook c8. I'm kind of x-raying his bishop right here. Let's bring this bishop back and put it on g6. Jambon Vegetal. He might have gotten wind of what I'm planning on doing this tournament. he might be onto my berserk strategy, and he's trying to one-up me. Okay, now he's going to have trouble with that knight on g5. I think that knight is just lost. Yeah, he's just losing it. Now I can play knight f4 once his queen moves. And if queen g3, I have knight e2 winning the queen, so probably you should put the queen on f3. He sacks instead. Yeah, he's just going for broke right here because, you know, what else can he do? Play e5, open up the middle, take with our knight. Maybe queen g5 next. I'm attacking g4. So you don't want to get lulled into a false sense of security in these games. You got to keep the speed up. It's really important. As you saw in the last game with Heiser, you know, he started thinking, and that just lost him the game. The position on the board didn't even matter because he had already burned up all his time. Okay, let's just swap some stuff. We'll trade queens. We'll make this easy. I'm attacking his bishop. Okay, we'll keep our knight. I'm up an entire rook right now, so there's very little that can go wrong as long as I keep my head about me. Oh, I missed knight h5. I had that move. Okay, bishop c3. I have rook a3 winning the bishop. He's pinned. Okay, back to tournament. So we have 6 points. Daniel doubled, or he berserked in his first game, so he's trailing just by a single point. Berserk again. Let's do this. d4 against solo chess. Usually I play knight f3 against d6 on move 1, but he's not playing for e5, so he's adopting a more passive setup. I like to try to mess with their development when they do this hippo type arrangement. And he's letting my bishop all the way into f6, which is already incredibly promising for us. Probably he'll go bishop g7, maybe not. Surprisingly, he made that work. Rook h7 and then knight d7. Kind of a funny way of ejecting my bishop from f6. Yeah, so this hippo arrangement can be tough to get through if you're not proactive about creating weaknesses in black's camp. You don't want to let them settle into like a solid position, and he needs to play like b6 and bishop b7 to complete his development. Next thing I'll try to play h5 if allowed, to cut off his g4 pawn from the rest of his army. He's playing it really aggressive. I don't mind opening the position on the king side because I can still whisk my king away to the queen side, and he really can't do the same. And he's already rolled the dice and kept his king over here where he's advancing his pawns. So now I've castled. I'll try to be bringing out my kingside pieces next. Let's take here first. And then maybe play bishop d3 next. I realize d4 is hanging, but I'm hitting f5. How about h5 now? d4 is no longer hanging because he just blocked his dark square bishop. Let's go here. I like the way this is shaping up. Like maybe I can bring my knight into f4. Maybe bishop to h4. Put a rook on e1. g6 is weak. e6 is weak. Let's play knight f4 first. Maybe knight g6 could be useful at some point. His rook is looking nearly useless on that square. Okay, rook e1. He's probably preparing b5 as a means of counterplay. I'm just going to put my bishop on h4. I'm proceeding with the arrangement I set out to achieve. If he takes, just take back. He might play b4. Okay, let's bring this knight over, bring it to g3, where it can help attack f5. You can play queen a5 maybe. We'll go d5 against that one. He really needs to be able to stick a knight on e5 quickly. Could be tough though, because if he plays knight d7, he's weakening the diagonal. My bishop attacking his knight is more significant. Yeah, I could see things starting to go bad for him now. Maybe knight g6 or knight e6 next, or even doubling on the e file. Maybe I want to get this rook involved as the final piece to this puzzle. I think I have time to do so. If he takes on f3, I always just take back. He has trouble moving his knights. This knight cannot move without being captured. This one can't move without losing the knight behind it on e7. I'm not worried about this advancing a pawn because even if he were to get it all the way up to a3, I could just push b3 and keep it closed. Or vice versa, if he were to able to play b3, I could play a3 and keep it closed. So that's a nice aspect of this structure. Let's go knight g6 now. Time to act. We've made all of the necessary preparatory moves. We're also about even on the clock. Okay, so now I think f5 is going to fall for him. And if f5 falls, so does this position, I believe. Let's take with the knight. I could also take with the bishop on f5, but knight looks even better. Now I'm threatening rook e8. Actually, I think I might have missed a forced mate there. But with rook e8 first, sacrificing the rook. But hey, we're looking good no matter what. Position is winning. Yeah, so I'll get this in now. And my rook and knight and pawn on g6 combined for the checkmate. Okay, back to tournament. We have 11 points. Daniel also decided to berserk a game or two. Chess God Extreme is the next one, a little bit higher rated. 1757. We're playing a Tarrasch defense. This player seems pretty quick on the draw. They did a very early capture on d4. Don't know that that will matter too much, but maybe. Because now I can get quicker pressure against d5, perhaps. Because usually they keep the bishop on e7. So I'm a bit skeptical of how they played this. Like if d4 I have knight d5, their king is going to become weak. Okay, what are you doing about just this capture, though? So I think I've won a clean pawn. He's pinned. He can't take because he loses his queen. The bishop attacking e2 is a mild inconvenience. But other than that, don't think there's anything to worry about. Let's just back him off. Goes all the way back. Okay, we'll do this. Then play bishop into h6. b7 is also hanging. Be nice to go and take that. Yeah, let's do it. He could maybe take here, though, in reply. He doesn't. Let's just go back then. So we're up 2 pawns now. It's looking good. Let's swap. Bring the rook over. Maybe knight c4. Drums up some play for him. Let's play knight d4. If I can get rid of one of his bishops, that would be nice. I think he's going to try to bring his rook in. Let's defend with rook d2. Our bishop on h6 holds that nicely. We'll pre-move a swap. I don't think he'll take, though. I think he's probably going to double his rooks on the c file, because that would be most logical. If he does that, I'll play my rook back. His back rank is weak. I mean, my bishop on h6 helps create mating threats. I actually just missed that I could just take his rook. I have a built-in excuse, guys, based on the time situation. Also, I just missed that I could just play rook d8 next move, or the previous move. All right. I still got the checkmate, but some unfortunate misses right there. Nevertheless, we're sticking to our goal of berserking every game. Berserk again, all day, every day. Okay, let's play d4 against you. Queen's Gambit coming up. Slav or semi-Slav. What's your fancy? Let's go e3 against that. This is the Shebanenko Slav. Yeah, usually they do play bishop g4. I'll pre-move this capture because they usually like to take the opportunity to take. Maybe knight e5 if he doesn't take. Maybe. Okay, we'll play it. You've twisted my arm, man. All day, every day. Maybe a4 now. We'll just attack b5. He's very weak. On the b5 square, he can't tolerate all these captures. Let's cut off his bishop from the rest of his army. Maybe knight a2 to come. This knight can't leave its current post. Because if it does, I win c6. So he probably needs to play like this knight back to d7 in order to trade my knight on e5. Okay, let's take here. I'm simply going to go after this pawn. Because again, this knight is glued to its current location. Let's go here. Okay, we'll take now. Still think I have decent chances of just winning this pawn. Yeah, like now I'm threatening to take it. Maybe he could move his queen, though. I don't know. I could have perhaps played bishop takes b4. I don't know. It's hard to say. Okay, let's just make a useful move now. He's going to try to bring his knight in. I'm not going to take. Let's see if we can eject that knight. Maybe bishop g3. Yeah. Bishop g3. Ah, move back. He's already moving very quickly. I'm going to be able to take advantage of that somehow. I'm pretty sure. Let's go a5. No trade of queens. I want this pawn. I really, really want it. Okay, let's trade everything now. Maybe not everything, though. We'll keep some stuff on the board. So now I'm up a pawn. It's a passed a pawn. Don't want to allow his queen to get too frisky, though. Maybe queen b6. Bishop g3 now. Let's hide. I need my queen to break in towards the other side of the board. I'm not doing a good job of that right now. Also, my a pawn is just hanging as it stands. This player is really pressuring me on the clock, as they should. Creating annoying threats. Take my bishop? Maybe not. Okay, let's take here. Go queen e7. Trying to advance this pawn. I mean, this pawn's a huge problem for him. I can take that. Let's pre-move this. I'm having trouble on the clock. Big trouble on the clock. Uh-oh. Okay, let's go back and defend. Okay. Gotta be really careful now. This guy keeps making good moves. Oh no. Oh boy. Let's see if we can somehow trade queens. No! Oh, I got the queen trade in time. I'm still going to lose on time, though. Ah, okay, that player really pressured me on the clock. That was annoying. They did the right thing, though. Okay, we got to play faster. I'm sure our rating took a hit because of that game, too. So we're playing Dorp this time around. This is a guy I played in my other tournaments. Okay, we're playing a Botvinnik variation, which, yeah, I recall playing him in before. He's misplayed it in the past. That last game, I think I just didn't take the B pawn as quick as I should have. I waited a long time to take that pawn, and it cost me. Okay, rook b1. Queen a6 is the move, and then take. Last time here, he took on g2, and then after e7, he didn't really know what to do. This time around, he seems to know how to play it. I take here. This is the move. Yeah, Dorp did his homework. He's figured out how to play this line. Now take on h2, and then king g1 is the line. Yeah, I played Dorp, I think, like, what, 3 times now? And the first time they played this line, I hope I'm remembering this correctly, but the first time they played this line, it was pretty bad. like they lost, like, really quickly. And then the second time it was a little bit better, but they still lost quickly because they made a move order mistake. Now it's been going well, except they should have taken on, let's go here, just to guard against queen h1 stuff. But they should have captured on h2 instead of bishop d6 a couple moves ago. Let's go knight into e7. Like, how are they going to deal with this? If they take, I'm thrilled. They get a nice pawn on e7. I'm attacking the queen. If queen e4, maybe rook c1. I can't take on d6, so they take here. Yeah, even that might be dangerous for black, though, actually. But no, I'd probably play just rook c1. He does take, actually. King c7, I have bishop f4. That just loses on the spot. Okay, they have to be extremely careful now. Queen h5. This is just looking fantastic. Queen h8 is the threat. I'm also pinning his f-pawn, so no f6. That must lose somehow. We'll give it a check. And then after they take, I'll just bring this rook into play. I'm threatening queen d8. I think they're too pinned up to really do anything. I can win their queen. Rook d7 next move. Yeah, and if king e6, I have rook d6. Forcing the win of the queen. Nice tactic. I can pre-move that. They have a somewhat of a massive queenside pawns, but they're not dangerous enough. Let's just take that pawn. He resigned. Okay, back to tournament. So we have 21 points. Yeah, pesky all day, air day. That guy actually was a floored 1500, so he might have, or not a floored, but he hadn't played any Blitz games, so he's probably stronger than that rating. Payev, hello to you. Let's play in English against him. Oh, I forgot to berserk. Ah, man. I just like immediately played my move. Totally forgot to berserk that game. All right, well, that's annoying. I really wanted to berserk every game. We're just playing a normal English. Normal English opening. Play rook b1, going for b4 and then b5. Yeah, this is a standard plan in this line. White's structure is aimed towards the queen side anyways, so we attempt to advance and create weaknesses on his side of the board over there. "22 minutes left on the tournament. So we're about halfway through, and there's a couple guys hot on my tail. Mamayan Manuk in Trial A. I'm still going to try to play this game as quickly as I can. He is thinking what to do. I mean, queen d7 would be a normal move. Maybe trying for bishop h3. That would be fine. d5 instead. Seems to be asking for this, doesn't it? Because now if this knight moves, e5 is hanging. Which way do I want to take? Let's take the normal way. Maybe taking the other way had some merit too, because then there was no tension on c4. Maybe that would have been better. I still think I can take this pawn safely. Well, what if they play knight a5? Knight a5 attacks c4 a couple times. I feel like they might lose b7 at the end of such a sequence. Like, say, knight a5, knight takes e5, d takes c4, b takes c4, knight takes c4. Would have been interesting. Okay, let's take this. Just kind of weaken this diagonal, so I'm making sure that, like, you know, if he... Let's take with the knight. But if he were to do some discovery, I wouldn't be just losing. Probably they should play knight fd5 now, opening the bishop. I would play knight fd5, knight takes d5, knight takes d5, bishop d2. Okay, they're playing it this way. Well, now how about e4? Yeah, let's do e4. They can take on c4. We'll just take back. They're already under a minute now. Maybe they can get their, well, it'd be nice for them to get their knight into d4, but that's hard to achieve, isn't it? Because the squares that the knight needs to infiltrate on are covered. Let's go rook to d7. How about that? Attacking his knight and also hitting c7, so he doesn't have time to take on c4, and maybe I win c7 and I guard the c4 pawn. His knight is starving for squares, too. We can take that. He's got less than 30 seconds now. I think if knight d6, I could maybe just play c5 even. Let's do that. Maybe they can play knight takes b5 against this move. I don't know. Yeah, probably they can, actually. But with the time, it's so insignificant. They're just not gonna make it. Okay, back to tournament. We will remember to berserk next game. Wow, this Mamiyan Manuk guy is really hot on our tail. I think that's because I had a doubling streak that was interrupted. So if I play them, that could just be the tournament right there, even with this amount of time left. I'm berserking again against this guy. I don't care. We're going to play fast. This guy obviously is a good player, but I want the challenge. Let's bring the bishop into g5. He's not letting us. Play the bishop to g2. Yeah, he's content to pretty much play this very fast as well. Let's go knight d4. Attacking e6. I might be going down a pawn, but we'll see. I played a position incredibly similar to this before. Let's go f3 first. So if he moves his knight, I can take on f5. Take. So if queen here, maybe bishop h3, or just knight somewhere. Maybe knight e3. Let's go knight e3. Last time I played him, I let him control the pace of the game. He had control on the clock, and that was tough. That was very tough. We got to take back the initiative, especially on the clock. Let's go b4. This knight is running out of squares. He has to put on a6, not a desirable square. He's probably going to play c5. Go here, I'm threatening. Ooh, actually, I'm not threatening anything. Never mind. Let's go here. We try for an e-pawn push. Bring the bishop back to g2. Break up his center structure. You could take a b4, but I take there if he does that. Let's push b5. I'm trying to get the bishop out, make it relevant. Ooh, maybe I lose f3 though. Moot point, I suppose. They can get their knight in. Let's go bishop f4. That's what we've been trying to do recently. Okay, now our bishop's in a better spot than it was previously. Okay. Not good of me. Not good at all. Yeah, you can come in and do this. He's going to win now. All right, I got to resign this game. That was bad. That was bad. I paid the price for berserking every game. Okay, that guy is obviously pretty good. Like, he's a floored or a provisional 1500, but clearly he's pretty decent. Maybe berserking against him was a bad idea. Regardless. So we're playing a Scandinavian d3. d3 is so passive. We're still in this tournament. I mean, there's 16 minutes left. We're probably going to get a crack at Mamiyan Manuk. At least I hope we do. Maybe not. See what happens. Drop our queen back. But basically, we can't give up any more games now. Okay, maybe we'll fianchetto our queenside bishop. He's probably going for bishop h6. Let's pre-move that. Not sure the trade of the dark square bishops really helps white that much. Maybe rook c8 and then knight d4, kind of eyeing c2. I have to try to beat Heiser as quickly as possible. Get some games in. Okay, I expect rook a d1. Yeah, let's pump this knight into d4 now. If he takes, we're taking with the pawn, and c2 will be weak. Absolutely no question about that. We got to get back on a streak ASAP. If knight b5, I have queen d5, maybe. They have bishop f3 then. Does that lose a pawn? Okay, let's take. Let's not take. Let's play e5. I wasn't sure about that capture, so I'm not going to risk it. I know he can play like bishop d3 now and defend, but I really wasn't sure about that capture right there. Because he had bishop a6, which would attack my bishop and the rook. I could take on c2 then. I'm not totally sure about that. Okay, let's start pushing on this wing. Maybe we can probe and try to get into this square. a2. C3, huh? Well, let's do a few trades and then rook c8. Bring our queen back for protection. Maybe queen or rook to d8 soon. Doing okay on the clock. Caught up a little bit. They're still ahead. Now I'm threatening bishop takes e4. Try to do some stuff down the file against them. For d1, I can take on f4. If they take on h5, can I take on d3? Would it be worth risking? Take that pawn. If queen moves, maybe rook g4. Rook g4 looks threatening, attacking this pawn. Hitting the bishop brings the bishop all the way back for protection. Let's go queen c5. See if we can swap rook here. Okay, well, I had bishop a6. I didn't see that. I'm still doing well. Threatening bishop d3. Let's go here. Now the bishop's under attack and b2's under attack. Yeah, I think the time is going to get the best of him. Okay, let's just take that. Time. Yeah, and you see another case where the position on the board is just secondary to the time. Lost his rook on a6. Okay, back to tournament. Let's do this thing. We got 12 minutes remaining. All day, every day is on a huge streak right now. I don't know if it'd be correct to berserk against him. Okay, we've got Mama and Manuk. Let's do this. You know, I said at the top of the hour we're going to make this tough on ourselves. And by golly, we're going to do that. Nimzo Indian coming. Let's play knight f3 on move number 5 if they allow. I'll do that against anything except c5. See how he plays it. Okay, we'll take that. a3. See if they take, and then I can play g3 and bishop g2. A win here would be huge. It would be really, really big. Maybe rook d1, bishop f4 to come. I think this is all theory, actually. Don't recall like any specific games, but ooh, actually I'm allowing knight e4. That was not a good idea. Whoops. He didn't do it. Okay, let's just play queen b4. He wanted to get out of the x-ray as soon as he could. Makes sense. Go knight e5. Put a little bit more pressure. He can't play a5 because of the b6 pawn hanging. So that is slightly nice for us. Okay, we'll take, and then I take with the knight, and I'm threatening a huge move, knight to d6. That's a huge fork. How does he guard against that? He's got to play knight e4, I suppose? Knight e4, maybe f3. What then? That could get complicated. Knight e4, f3, g5, something crazy like that. I don't have time to calculate it, just got to go for it. Okay, you can play queen b6, but I have bishop e3 maybe, or just king g2. Ooh, tough call. Tough call. All right, let's do king g2. I don't think knight d3 hurts us. Knight d3 I can just take. He has one check on f2, but that's about it, isn't it? I hope. I can even take knight d3, take on e4. Even better. Okay, now I get to pin him. This is tremendous. Yeah, that was not a good idea by him. Queen g6, I take e4, he takes the knight. Bishop f2. Got to defend with everything we have. But I think I am defending. That's annoying. Keeps attacking that pawn. Okay, I will... Ooh, he's hitting g... Okay, I gotta do this. I don't know if I have anything more than a draw. Okay, claim a draw. Back to tournament. Yeah, I don't know about that. That was close. He keeps a lead. Okay, berserk this game. I wasn't gonna risk it with 30 seconds left. I really wasn't sure. I know he keeps a lead right there, and it's tight, but Marama 16. You will be my next victim. See if he swaps on e4. He does. Maybe bishop g4 next. Attack his queen. Keeping a close eye on those standings. Rook b1 is a very strange move. He's preparing b4. Let's play e5. Just gain tempos against his queen. Queen e3 maybe? Huh. Does that instead. Well, now I can play bishop d6 and hopefully castle one way or the other pretty quickly. My opponent has developed in very strange fashion. Ooh, he dropped his queen. Okay, that's fortunate for us. Hopefully he just resigns so we can go to the next game. He's not resigning. We're going to have to finish him off the old-fashioned way. We'll take on f3 if he allows next move. Let's get our queen in close. Queen h3. There's no knight g4 or anything that I have associated with that move, but it is pretty darn close to his king. Now maybe I'll go for e4. Let's go e4. Cheapo mate threat. But what can he do about it? Yeah, all right. Back to tournament. We're at 30 points. Those guys have 31. Hopefully they play each other and draw. Mama Nunuk, yeah, we stopped his doubling streak, but all day, every day, obviously has overcame his slow start. He has a good record now. Mama Nunuk, okay. We're berserking again, I've decided. We're doing it. Banco Gambit style. He takes with the knight, a6, and now d5 next move. This guy's pretty solid. I mean, my expectation in berserking against him is, if it's positive, it's only very slightly so, I'd say. So clearly he's someone under normal circumstances we'd want to have a full slate of time against. Let's play f6. Let's go knight c6. He could put his bishop on c4, though. We're making quick decisions. Rook c8 next move, probably. Maybe b4? Hopefully rook d2 so I can go b4 and trap his bishop. That would be a nice gift. Doubt he plays that though. Let's go bishop e7. He has check though. I did notice that. He's trying to prepare. He's trying to prepare like with a3. He was stopping the b4 move. We dropped a piece. Okay, great. He missed that. My knight was covering b7 somehow. All right, he resigned. Fortunate for us, we're in first place against all day, every day. Is he playing right now? Ooh, this is a player we can berserk against for sure. Tony, 1977. Plays c5, move 1. All right, maybe this will be a quick kill, just based on how they're playing this opening. Take with the knight if they take. This is heating up. Less than 5 minutes remaining. It might come down to how many games we get in. So it goes without saying that I'd like to beat this player as quickly as I can. All right, e5 is interesting because if they move the knight, then I have knight takes d5. Case in point. This knight is also a little stranded now. So if the queen moves, I don't know if he'll give me a check or something, but if the queen moves, maybe bishop d3, just attack that knight. Ask him how he wants to defend it. Ooh, okay. So winning the queen on the fork there. It's a nice stroke of luck. He's going to play f takes, so let's just pre-move that. Wow, he actually didn't. He moved his king. Okay, actually somehow felt he was going to play knight takes f2. We're going for the quick checkmate. f7 is pretty much falling now. Can play bishop g5. And if he goes king c7, maybe here just to like threaten e6 stuff. Hunting his king down. Let's go, Tony. See, these are the things you can't control in tournaments. You know, is this guy going to resign or is he going to keep playing on a lost position? It remains to be seen. From the looks of it, he's playing till mate, so you know, we got to mate him quick. Take d7. Okay, now we should be getting into a quick mate territory. Yeah, we've got mate in a couple right here. Queen b7 is mate. Okay, back to tournament. We got a 3-point lead all day, every day. He didn't berserk that game. If we play him again, maybe we don't berserk, we just play normal and try to win. But then again, the clock might expire before we do that. Ooh, okay, let's berserk. If we can get a quick win against El Mundo, then it'll be worth it. I'm kind of thinking the clock might expire before anything is able to happen, though. But you know, a quick win for both sides would be, for either of us actually, would be preferable. El Mundo also wants to play quickly. I don't know if he has a chance in the standings, probably not, but it's in his best interest to win as fast as he possibly can too. Let's go rook d8. If b4, I'll just drop my queen back. We have a solid position. Nothing to write home about, just solid. Let's go here and try to get the knight into d5. He can play f5 whenever he wants. I suspect he won't, though. We'll take and then try to take his dark square bishop. How about that plan? How about it? Okay, bishop f5. See if he'll swap. Take it. Attacking d4 a little bit. Maybe I can play e6 next move, just solidify the center. We have 1 minute remaining. I don't know if we're going to get this game in. Okay, I'm embarking on a plan of bringing the knight to d6. This is kind of a strange-looking plan, but I'm trying to gain control over f5. Here I'm threatening knight g3. Suspect he'll see that. He covers. Okay, b5. Trying to carve out the use of a square. He can take that, though, can't he? Does not. Okay, d5 is a usable square for us. If g4, I'll drop the knight back, clearly. Trying to go rook d8. Huh. 19 seconds left. This game's not going to finish before the end. Okay, let's go f6. I don't know about this decision. Go here. He can attack e6 with a lot of stuff. That's the bad news. Let's go f5. You could take on e6 though. I think we pressed our luck a little bit too much in this one. Now this pawn is hanging. All right, we'll come in and hope for the best. Yeah, this position is going down the drains though. Let's go knight d7, sure. Wasn't sure how to play it. I'm threatening knight d5, maybe. Okay, we'll take that pawn. Knight d7? Bad news for us. All right, let's do this. Really not sure how to play it. There's not much time left either to make such a determination. The tournament's over, so this game won't count either way. Go f4. Just trying some Hail Mary stuff. It's not likely to work. Maybe, though. You never know. Well, we are pressuring him on the clock a bit. I'm not sure what my plan is with his knight on f4. There's not much I can do. Yeah, this is over. All right, let's just resign. Good game. Back to tournament. How did it finish up? Oh, I actually won the tournament. Sweet. Despite that pretty bad streak against the higher rated players, I still won the tournament. Yeah. Did I berserk every game except one? I think I did. There was that one game I forgot to berserk. But yeah, other than that, I berserk every game except one. Not a convincing performance, and this guy is much better than 1500 and didn't do too well against Actually, I did okay against Mamian Manuk. I got 1.5 out of 2. But that other guy we just encountered, El Mundo, he handled us. So, all right, so there you have it. A berserk nearly every game except one, and then 96 players, hourly Super Blitz. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll be back tomorrow with another Blitz video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.